Lizzie Hofer, back with CCM Talks. I'm here with the amazing Gina Myers, who is one of our regional vice presidents and top loan officers. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much, and right back at you, sis. Love it. Happy to be here.
I know this is going to be an easy love fest.
I
We're
know,
already
yeah.
friends. So you're the #1 female loan officer in your area.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How has that impacted your business? Like when we're talking about referral partners, I know you've had a ton of female team members.
You know what's funny is I took this lead from you, actually, Lizzie. So I remember you saying something about this back when you were #1 in Arizona. And you said lean into it, right? Be authentically yourself. And so I was a little nervous to do that, but I ripped off the Band-Aid and said, okay, I am the #1 female lender in Virginia for a few years. And I initially was concerned how people would react to that. But what I've learned is when now realtor partners are introducing me, they're using that. They're saying, you need to call her, she's #1, right? And it just sort of like sets the stage. So that felt really great. And now I find myself leaning into it a little bit more. At the end of the day, people will work with those people that they like, trust, and respect, right? And so if that is someone that is a woman that you just feel more comfortable talking to, then here I am, And so I just think like attracts like. Female buyers are one of the largest demographics, and I'm not saying that we don't work with men or that we only work with women or women only work with men, but money is fairly taboo, right? You know this, and it's a very taboo conversation, and sometimes if you just feel more comfortable talking to someone that you trust, that you respect, and that happens to be a woman, then just lean into that, right?
That concept comes from a book called The 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing. And part of the reason it's so powerful is because you do give that information for referral partners. Like everyone wants the #1 in whatever category it is.
Oh.
And so when you're the #1 in your marketplace and you can say that, it's easier to refer you. It's like, oh my gosh, I have the #1 person. Okay. And it's easier to attract top talent because people want to be around winners.
Yeah.
And
True.
I've definitely noticed that within your team and all the people that you attract. And one of the things that I think is super unique about your business, and not unique to like being a female loan officer,
yeah,
but how well you attract female talent. And then also, I mean, you're a mom of 2 kids, you're a wife, I mean, you're very involved, you have a great social life. When it comes to, I hate the word balance, but when it comes to trying to wear many hats, okay? Mm-hmm. What is that like for you?
Balance, I think, is more of just maybe equilibrium, and it just sort of fluctuates right over time. In our Super Bowl season of real estate mortgages, right? Sometimes that's the spring market. And I think, your family recognizes that, and sort of my husband's great about just stepping in and supporting and knowing that, okay, these are the months I may have to work a little bit later to get things done. It's funny driving around with the kids, sometimes I'll take calls because if I need to be somewhere, I let the person know who's calling me that needs help in a real estate transaction that, I'm with my family, but I have 10 minutes or something like that. And I think just subconsciously, maybe the kids are listening. Maybe they're paying attention to how their mom helps people. And after the call, I'll say, did you learn something from that? Or I'll say more of like, how do you think that person felt? And sometimes they'll respond. Most of the time they'll say, I don't know, I wasn't listening. But, it's more of like, I'm just hoping subconsciously, because I do work a lot and I really enjoy what I do, that maybe that's sort of like showing them how it's done versus just being there. Obviously, I'm there cheering from the sidelines, but if I need to take a call on the way to the game and they're listening, I'm hoping that they see that you can be successful and it looks different ways.
I think that's really powerful because a lot of women struggle with guilt, right? We feel bad for all the time that we've been working.
Yeah.
And the thing is, our kids are also watching us be really successful. They're learning what a professional conversation sounds like.
Yeah.
When it came to safety, I remember being like, okay, kids, we have to remember mom's phone number. And I'm not even kidding. All 3 of my kids could say it because of how many times they've heard me say it. And I was like, well, I guess we'll check that one off the box.
Look at me. Nailed that.
But it also translates into like, I mean, you have a daughter and what kind of woman we want them to be. And the only way that you can really do it is by seeing it. So I think it's incredible that you've done that. So that actually leads me into something that I've always noticed about you, which is your high energy. Like every time I'm around you, it's very magnetic. You know, you're really enthusiastic. I have to imagine that you prioritize your health and your mental wellness.
Yeah, I mean, every day I'll start with some sort of movement, and especially outside. You know, I really enjoy walking my dog, walking with my husband, friends, listening to a podcast, because, you know, let's face it, we need to get amped up for the day, right? It requires a lot of energy to go out and make calls and be present for clients and be in those meetings and be fully engaged. So I really need to start the day working on myself, not only my fitness, but also my mindset, and listening to podcasts and listening to books and just really getting amped up to be the best I can be that day.
I mean, the market has been really tough, and
Yeah.
this is, I mean, having a good, healthy mindset is so important.
Yeah.
What have you been doing differently, loan product wise, prospecting wise, to really pivot and do well in a market like this?
Absolutely, right? And so the thought I have is, where there's a will, there's a way. And you and I both know, if it makes sense for the client to be able to get financing, we have a product here for them at CCM, or we have a way to figure it out quickly. So I love the portfolio loans. They've been a game changer for my business. When things are hard, whether it's interest rates or less inventory or whatever it is, I look at it as a way to help more clients and help our realtor partners, right? If we can help our realtor partners do more business, they will bring you more business. So when you listen and learn the products, right? The learning is the important part. When you listen and learn and help with strategy and close loans for people, they'll bring you more. So that's been a huge game changer, using the portfolio loans, educating myself, educating the team, not being afraid of learning something new.
Okay, and so I always end with this question, okay?
Okay.
You've been in the business a long time. If somebody were to pick you out of Virginia and plop you into Arizona and you had to start all over again in terms of prospecting, marketing, whatever, what would you do first?
I think I would learn about the markets, the demographics, the different property types, but you know, going to events. I mean, you have to get out there, you have to meet with people, you have to get in your community, whether that's going to the school and talking to the other parents and just talking to other, you know, professionals, and going to businesses, learning and connecting with the community and being helpful is what I would do.
But that's a lot what you do with your business now. Like lots of community, lots of events, lots of face-to-faces.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
I'm not shocked that that's what you would do. Girl, it has been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for sharing your journey and sharing all of these great nuggets with us.
Thank you, as always, for sharing with me.
Thank you guys, and come back to another CCM Talks.